Oh boy, folks, here we go again. Another wonderful week here at the Holo Project. The moment you've all been waiting for. The last Cadillac floor pan. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute nightmare. As you can see, it's rotted out clear up underneath this vent, all along here, up here. This all has to get cut out. Somebody put these patches in here, I don't know, many years ago probably, but yeah, I've been dreading this all summer, which is why I haven't worked on it all summer, in case you were wondering. Just don't. Ugh. This is what nightmares are made of, folks. Unless you're a sheet metal guy, this is probably easy for you. Not for me. So anyway, I guess we're just gonna kind of start by pulling some of this old crap out. Oh boy. What do we have here? I thought that was a snake at first. They did two layers. There's one on the bottom and this one on top. They just sandwiched it. Nothing like trapping moisture in the floor. Holy cow. Go ahead and get rid of this. It's some kind of steel, I think. I don't know what the hell it is. Let's get this front one up here pulled out. Maybe. Oh god. Oh boy. We might be able to use this for the shape. Look at that. Tremendous. I'm hoping on this side, if you remember on the other side, I had to cut this big center support out so I could get the floor in, and then I put this back down. It looks like I'm gonna have to do the same thing. This all has to go. Yeah, there ain't nothing there. Oh boy. Any wagers on whether these Phillips screws come out? I'm gonna have to take that out because it's rotted up underneath it. Oh god. I just don't want to. Somebody else want to come do this? Let's see, it looks like this maybe slides out from underneath this one that comes down from the dash. I'm hoping. But getting this shape correct through here to make sure this seals down on it again. I mean, they've got this thick, probably an 1/8 inch thick seal underneath it. So we're gonna have to come up with something there. And it's got this little bump out right here. I'm not sure what that's for, if that needs to go back where it is or not. You can see the training lines through the floor here. Got to be careful with that. But the good news is this is our last one, and we'll have all new floors. Then we can look at the fun stuff like carpet pad. I got to figure out some sort of material for the door panels and like this cardboard. Rebuild those, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Get the interior back in this. Hear that? Guy said, love the El Camino. Oh boy. All right, let me do some pondering here. We got to find out if we can get these Phillips screws out and go from there, I suppose. All right, well, the first one came out. It looks like I might get lucky, at least on these bottom ones here. I don't want to put a power tool on them for fear of just absolutely destroying them right out of the gates, you know. Try this one back here, maybe. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if what this thing is sealed down with other than this pad deal that's underneath it. These are going to be the tricky ones up here that are really rotted out. Oh no. Oh no. I better get some sort of spray and start soaking those babies down. All right, let's hit them with a little bit of freeze off here. Try to freeze them. Might as well hit some of these over here too. Can't just lift one side of the thing, you gotta take the whole deal off. You know what I mean? All right, well these two here are being a pain. They are being stubborn. So what I did, I don't know if you can see it, I cut a slit in the middle of it, and we're gonna try to get a bigger flathead in here. Oh yeah, there she goes. The Phillips heads on them just stripped out, so we had to cut a little slit in the middle there. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It looks like, I don't want to speak too soon, but that one worked anyway. Let's go for number 2 here. Just make sure that you got a somewhat big flathead. You don't want to cut your slit so fat that you don't have a big enough flathead to get in there and grip it. And we've got one more on this back side that I got to do the same thing to, and then we'll try to pop this out of here. Okay, it's all unscrewed. We're going to try to gently lift it off here. I was going to try to do it without tearing the seal or whatever it is that's underneath it. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Maybe try to push it down as I pull this up. Not really sure. All right, there's that. Oh yeah, that needed to come off anyways. Look at all the nasty stuff underneath it. That's wild. Got a little bit of mouse house underneath here. Nothing cool though. I was hoping maybe a couple grand in cash would fall out of there, but you know, wishful thinking. So anyway, you can see how far back up here our floor was rotted, which is why that had to come off. We got to fix everything up here on the tunnel. This all looks really good. Just this back corner here, and I'll vacuum all this crap out of here quick so we can kind of take a better look at it. Stupid camera. You can kind of see obviously this is in pretty tough shape all through here. That's just a chunk coming off. This I think back here will be okay. I can treat all that. It's just pitted a little bit. We'll try to get as much of this though as we can get. But yeah, definitely had to come out, so that's good. It wasn't as big of a nightmare as I expected to get that piece off of there, but you know, the shape of all this is what's gonna be a pain. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do it in a couple different sections. Maybe do this piece here, stop it, build this little section here, and then build this final section. I'm not sure. It's gonna take a lot of dinking around to get that all fit in there right, but I think we can make it happen. All right, well, we're just beating away here trying to get this bottom section out of here, trying to separate it. They've got they've got so much glue on the bottom side that I'm just taking this pry bar and trying to beat it into submission, get it unstuck, and it's kind of coming. It's kind of coming. Trying to be somewhat careful not to tear my arm open on rust. You know, that'd be something. But they had a sandwich made here between all the crap. So anyway, oh, there she goes. Oi, 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 oi. Sorry. Oh boy, I just dumped all that crap on the floor. Clean up in aisle 9. Anyway, that's out of there. Might as well just continue on the pile on the floor. And I don't think that's got an inside brace up here, or an inside floor, outside floor, inside floor. This is the inside floor. There's an outside floor. Hopefully that is not just completely, absolutely obliterated as well as the inside is. But we're gonna leave this be for now. Maybe I'll just spray foam that, because I'm gonna get tired of trying to get this fixed, and I'll just expand the foam that and carve it out. We'll carpet over that. Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. Anywho, I'm gonna finish tearing this last piece out, and then I'm gonna try to come up with a game plan of where we're gonna start. Unfortunately, this is gonna be a separate piece, and then this might be a separate piece, and then I might have to make 1 or 2 pieces for this to get the curves and stuff right. I don't think that I've got the correct equipment to try to do that all in one shot. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to kind of figure it out as we go, just like we did all the other ones. Okay, well, that's out. You can see all the little rivets. They had it kind of riveted in there along with the silicone. So that was a pain, but it's out of there. So that's good. And there we are. That floor has now been removed, except for all the crap up there. Whew. I suppose this stuff here can kind of stay in. We can still lay a floor over that, but I'm gonna try to suck some of this crap out of here, mouse nests and all that stuff, and clean this up a little better so we can see what the heck we're working with. Okay, that's a little better. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some rough proofing inside that channel, because that all stays. Get some up in there, that way it's got a few days to kind of sit, turn black. And obviously, like we did over there, we're gonna get it good and painted up, sealed, and yeah, that's where we're gonna start. All right. Well, we're gonna take this original piece here, and we're gonna use this kind of as a template, give or take. And I shouldn't even say original piece. We're gonna take this custom fabricated, wonderful, beautiful piece here that somebody else has custom fabricated, fabricated, and we're just gonna kind of make a guess along there and just greatly oversize it, because we're going to use some of it to curve and so on and so forth. And if this doesn't work very well, we've got a whole nother 4x8 sheet over there against the wall, if you can see it, you know, over there. So yeah, anywho, we're just going to cut this off so it's a more manageable piece. That's what we're doing. You guys ever see that one chick that writes her name in cursive with an angle grinder? Let's try that out. Although I don't know that I can write my name in cursive. Let's try it. Hey, look at that. I have a really short name. It's pretty easy. Can you see it? Probably not. Let's try the hole-up project on the back. Just found my new profession. Boom. Let's just, that's it. I'm done working on cars. I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna write things with an angle grinder. Okay. Yeah, that can just go ahead and get deleted. I don't know why these batteries do that. They say they've got 30% left in them, and then they just die. All right. Let's see what we're working with here. This is gonna come back and get bent. That shape's not great. It's not terrible. We could probably work with it. Trim this side a little bit here. Let's try a couple different positions here. I'm not sure exactly. Was it this way? That might be better. Yeah, that's a little better. So this side here is going to curl up. This side's going to curl up. And then this is going to have a step in it to meet this angle over here, because this is obviously lower than this, just like on that side. And then I got to figure out too, if we're going to cut this brace out again like we did over there. We actually welded it, that brace on top of the floor, and I'm guessing we're going to have to do the same thing here. Probably going to be our best option. That whole panel up there, almost the whole thing needs to be replaced. So that's going to be a big piece. And then we stepped it here so that you could overlap the panels, kind of like the factory did. Yeah, there's going to be... And again, I'm not going to record this entire process. This video would be 4.5 hours long. And you've seen me do the other floor over there, so. But that leads me to my next thing. The professor just had knee surgery, and I leave this Sunday for a 10-day pipeline purge. So there may be a week or two that we don't have a video on Friday. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. Just gonna have to see what happens. Gotta figure this out. I think maybe I won't put the curve in this piece per se. Maybe we'll lay that something like that and build this curve separately. I think that's what I had to do over there, if I remember right. Yeah, we'll just have to see what we get. I'm gonna play around a little bit here, see what we can figure out. All right, well, we did decide to trim some more of the jagged edge crap off here, you know, like the late 90s early 2000s band jagged edge. We got to be real careful of these guys here. Those are fuel feed and or return. Just trying to clean up. We did a little bit of grinding, clean up, see where we have good metal around the outsides as well. You can see there's a lot of heavy pitting, but this is pretty thick steel here. So I think if we get above the top side of some of the heavy pitting, we should be okay. And we cleaned up some of this. Needs to be resprayed. That spray wasn't taking because it had a lot of crap still on it. It wasn't cleaned up. I got to be careful here too. There's another cross brace, if you remember that piece there. So this stuff here is all tack welded, pot welded, hole welded, whatever you want to call, spot welded. Down, we are probably going to have to cut this out, just like we did on the other side. But I'm going to try to do it different this time. I'm going to try to find the welds first and try to grind those welds out and then pull it out, because what happened on the other side was we bent this a little bit and it made it tough to get back in. So anyway, all right, well, I came along this side and shrunk it, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can kind of see the reflection of it here. It started to create like a bowl, which is what we want, because this has got to come up from both sides and create a curve. I'm just trying to get the general shape to get it fit up in here, and then what I'm going to do probably is just tack a strip along here to come up this, and then I can cut and butt it along both these edges, kind of like I did with the back floors. I didn't know really how to do that up there because that was my first floor. So hopefully what we've learned will help out with this. And also I made a couple little marks here and here. I'm going to trim a little bit off of this side. It's a little bit too fat to put in the bead roller, and we've got to make our lines for the extra structure in here. So I got to be able to get it in the bead roller. And I think we also might try to get this brace cut out of here too. I'm not exactly sure. This pan's going to be a little short from making it up here to this part that I wanted to get it up to, but we'll figure that out. I can always extend this panel to come farther out and make that bead roll across there and then butt weld it into here. I think I did something kind of similar over there. I don't remember. It's been a while. I could go back and watch the video if I wanted to though. But anywho, what do you guys think of the video quality on these? Is it good? Is it fair? Is it medium? Is it poor? Kind of been toying around with a different camera. This GoPro is kind of starting to give me issues. And there's some other, this DJI camera that's on the market. That video footage is much more improved over this one. I just don't know whether to spend the money on it or not. So drop something in the comments. If the video quality is okay, then, you know, we'll carry on. But anyway, I'm gonna get some of this pan trimmed up, get this brace cut out of here probably, and then we'll start fitting this piece in here better. Alright, sorry about the air compressor, but I think we pretty much have it here. This one actually was just welded around the outside. I didn't find any, I don't know, fillet welds or anything in this one. So I just used the old diamond cutting wheel and got the welds ground down. Nice metal on the bottom, look at that. We'll have to clean this baby up. You can see all the pitting, poor thing. Anywho, how about that? That looks beautiful. Really good, high quality floor. All right, we're gonna try to get some more of this crap knocked out of here. All this freaking silicone, or I don't even know what it is. It's like a, I don't know, something that gets hard, kind of seam sealer or some sort, or trying to get it all out of here so I can see what we've got, because I've got to get spot welds and whatnot, other stuff. That's got a gap under it there. Okay, I know this brace right here runs up. We learned that on the other side. But essentially what I'm trying to get done for you folks at home, like to get this old floor situated and mostly out of here, so that next time we see each other, we can hopefully get a new floor formed up and start getting it put in. I think what I want to do is get all the flat, at least down here in this whole section in, and then from there I can work on shaping this to come down and meet it, if that makes sense. I don't think they'd work very well trying to cut this stuff out and have this out and try to build all this back together. Probably not very conducive to what we're trying to do. And if it was, this video is going to be a 2-month long one, so we're not after that anyhow. So I got to clean up this section here a little bit so I can find where the spot welds are for this brace that runs across and then across here and then back. And then we're going to work on getting this chunk taken out of here. Plug your ears. We're going to use the old wire wheel here to try to clean this up so I can try to find the welds. Let's see. You can see one there. There's one there that's already rotted through. Looks like there might be one right there. Is that metal? Yeah, that's metal. There's gonna be a handful. There's one. There's gonna be a handful of them up through here. We're just gonna have to pick at them one at a time while we're peeling the floor, you know what I mean? Turn off your compressor again. I thought there was one hanging out in there somewhere. It's also off, you find it when you chisel it up. You can find where it's packed at. There's one right there. There's another one. Right here. Oh, might be there. Turn over here on the side. Listen to my video. Don't forget to wear your gloves when you're doing this. Let's get this all right here. And one more here. Wow, here. Stop gun. Okay, proceed. Let's go. Let's go right up here. There's a bit right here. Maybe not. Let's see one right there. Got it. There's another one. This is the worst part of this. Find all these welds. There we go. If I see all this steel crap they use, it's all hidden. One more right here somewhere, looks like. Also keep safe. All right. There's that little roundabout section. Now we got to move back here find all of these. The floor might just break off, but that'd be all right. I wouldn't hate that. I know the floor is layered right here. There's one. Whoa. That must be a big one. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this off right across here. And I gotta cut it over here and we can peel this whole chunk out of here. All right, well, we got that section cut right here. I'm gonna suck some of this crap out of here with the old shop vac here. We got a plug. Okay, we're back. That's better. Well, that looks a little bit better. Whew, these are your body mounts, or yeah, body mounts. I replaced those on the other side. You can see my bag of bolts over there. I don't believe I put new mounts in it. I think I just replaced the bolts. Probably gonna have to give them a little, get those babies soaking. And I had to fix one of the mounts too, I believe. I had to weld up a new mount. Oh, anyhow, that's out of there. We got to get this weld here, and there's probably one or two more over here. I didn't have to replace quite as much over here, I don't think, on the other side. And there's not going to be a ton to weld to. I'm hoping I can get away with cutting it like right around here and have a good place to weld. Guess we'll find out, won't we? So much fun. All right, that looks substantially better. Look at that. We're going to get the wire wheel in here and try to get some of this cleaned up. Spray it down. Got a bunch of jagged crap left everywhere, but we're not going to get rid of that until we weld in the new, cut and butt. If we have time left tonight, I'll try to get this section. There's obviously spot welds along here. We'll have to cut it and then just kind of pick a spot. I don't want to get too far ahead on some of this and come back to it here, in 10 plus days and forget where I'm at, if that makes any sense. I like to kind of have a rhythm to the things that I do. So anywho, I'm gonna clean up this stuff here. You guys can watch, and then we'll spray it down and we'll keep soaking these guys. And at least get a little bit of rust proofing put on that for now. All right, let's spray some rust proofing goodies on here. And that can sit there and soak while I'm out on pipeline duty. You can already see it starting to turn black. I don't really know if this stuff actually works. It might slow it down. This is really thick steel though, structural stuff. So I'm not really worried about it. But that'll at least help. We'll get that on it. We'll paint over the top of it and should help tremendously. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's where we're going to end up wrapping this video. Obviously, time constraints. And like I said, I'll be gone next week. The professor had knee surgery, so he's hobbling around on one leg. He's got a half of a second leg. Not a tripod though. So yeah, this is, I mean, we're coming along. We got a lot of the old floor out, rust proofing on so it can soak. But like I said, I want to build this part, build that part, and then build this to come down and meet it. But yeah, we're back on Lil Debby. Finally, long awaited. I know it's taken forever. Partially my fault because I didn't want to do this last floor, but also bought that black El Camino that consumed some extra time that I wasn't expecting. But we definitely appreciate all you guys for watching and liking and sharing and subscribing and all that good stuff, and we're gonna keep at it. As long as you guys are watching, we're gonna keep making. So until next time, thanks for watching the Holub Project, and we'll see ya 2 weeks. Adios.